Right now, if your baby cries at 3 a.m., you're the only one who has to get up. Maybe your partner helps, maybe not. Either way, the walls of your house are the edge of your support system, and the exhaustion is yours alone to carry. Now take that away. Delete the crib. Delete the pediatrician on speed dial. Delete the parenting books, the baby monitor, the tub of formula on the shelf. What's left isn't nothing. What's left is somewhere around 40 other people who all consider that baby partly theirs. For most of human history, nobody raised a baby alone. Not because it was noble, not because ancient people were somehow more patient or more loving than you are, because alone the baby died. The math simply didn't work, and every society that survived long enough to leave descendants had already solved for that. So how did ancient humans actually keep infants alive for hundreds of thousands of years, with no hospitals, no formula, and no modern medicine at all? Everyone assumes it came down to a tough, self-sufficient mother, doing it all through sheer instinct. The truth is almost the opposite. Survival depended on the baby having many caregivers, not one, and the system was built into the culture itself. In 2009, anthropologist Sarah Blaffer-Hrdy published research built on decades of fieldwork across hunter-gatherer societies. She found that human infants, unlike almost every other great ape, were raised through a system researchers now call cooperative breeding. Grandmothers, aunts, older siblings, and unrelated adults, what anthropologists call alloparents, regularly held, fed, carried, and watched infants throughout the day. Hrdy's argument is blunt. Human babies are so metabolically expensive to raise. Big brains, long dependency, years before they can feed themselves. That a lone mother, working alone, statistically could not keep one alive to adulthood. The species needed helpers, or it didn't survive. So what did that help actually look like, hour by hour? Here's where it gets specific. In 1991, anthropologist Barry Hewlett published a landmark study of the AKA people, hunter-gatherers in the Central African rainforest. He measured something almost nobody had measured before: how much of the day fathers spent in direct physical contact with their infants. The number was staggering. AKA, fathers held their babies for roughly 47% of daylight hours, the highest level of paternal-infant contact ever recorded in any human society, then or now. Compare that to modern surveys of Western fathers, which often report under an hour of dedicated one-on-one infant contact per day. That gap isn't a quaint cultural footnote. It's a survival mechanism, built into daily routine like a second immune system, quietly doing work that no single parent could do alone. But extra hands don't feed a baby. Something biological had to close that gap too. That answer came from nutrition, delivered almost constantly rather than on a clock. In the 1970s, researcher Nicholas Blurton Jones studied nursing patterns among the Hadza of Tanzania and found something that shatters the modern feeding schedule entirely. Infants were nursed roughly every 13 minutes throughout the day, not every 3 hours, not on a routine at all, every 13 minutes. This wasn't indulgence. This was engineering. Constant, low-volume feeding kept blood sugar stable in infants with almost no fat reserves to draw on, and it kept the baby physically attached to a caregiver for nearly every waking minute. Which brings us to the piece that ties the whole system together. Everyone assumes ancient infants were left to cry it out in some hut.